All right, KG, we lost ground yesterday, not completely across the board because we had small caps higher, but it feels like we're about to move back to the other side of the boat with tech taking back leadership today. Talk to me about how you look at markets right now.
Well, I think that's exactly what you would like to see when we do have these pullbacks when it comes to technology as well as communication services. You'd like to see some of the other sectors really kind of make it up. And that's exactly what we have seen over the last 4 or 5 trading sessions, where the more defensive sectors, those that have been a little bit more oversold for that matter, if you're looking at 2025, actually catching a pretty decent bid. And now today we might see the baton being handed off to the technology sector after the Taiwan semi earnings. And that could also kind of move us higher, maybe regain some of this ground. From a technical standpoint, for the S&P 500, we went and tested the 20-day moving average yesterday. So it's not surprising that we are seeing a little bit of a retracement bounce, at least to start off today's session. Let's see if we actually have some follow through, get back to all-time highs. But I think this is actually a really decent setup as we continue to see this churn in the market. You have a lot of those Mag 7 stocks that are actually trading below their 50-day moving average, and even some of them trading below their 200-day moving average. And you got to think, Diane, it might be actually a pretty decent setup leading up to earnings where they might be able to surprise and once again kind of see this rotation back into tech, back into communication services. I think this might be the start of that type of rally, at least.
Over the past 3 years, artificial intelligence, AI equities have propelled the S&P 500 higher and contributed to the bull market's several new highs. Some of the winners at the forefront, such as Palantir Technologies, an AI software business, and Nvidia, a leader in AI chips, may be familiar to you. Over the course of 3 years, their respective shares increased by 1,000% and 1,400%. Why is AI causing such a stir? The technology has the potential to increase productivity for both individuals and businesses, and it opens the door to more robust and rapid innovation. There are countless opportunities, ranging from enhancing the drug discovery process to powering robotics and self-driving cars. And these are only a few examples. All of this could result in cost reductions and rapid earnings growth for businesses creating or utilizing AI. In recent years, investors jumped on this bandwagon quickly, but is AI still the ideal growth theme for long-term investors? Let's find out. Let's first take stock of what has transpired thus far. Because of their positions in the AI sector, some companies have already enjoyed a boom in both earnings and stock performance. I previously highlighted Nvidia and Palantir because of their increases in share prices, which have also been accompanied by skyrocketing profits. Early successes in AI, such as Nvidia, have fueled the creation of AI tools, or, like Palantir, have assisted clients in using AI to solve practical issues. The AI opportunity is not, however, over. AI models are still being trained by businesses, and cloud service providers are making investments to boost capacity. In fact, Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, predicts that in a few years, spending on AI infrastructure might exceed $4 trillion. This infrastructural preparedness indicates that the AI story is still in its infancy. The usage of AI by businesses across industries should then become more widespread. For instance, while this movement is still in its infancy, some pharmaceutical and biotech businesses have begun using AI to direct the development of new medications. At this point, we should observe a continuous demand for computing resources to drive the thought processes models use to resolve challenging issues. Companies like Nvidia, Advanced Micro Devices, and Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, to mention a few, should continue to grow as a result of this field, known as AI inference, which calls for chips, networking equipment, and other tools. As I indicated above, businesses that employ AI should also profit from the technology. This is corroborated by market growth projections, which indicate that the current billion-dollar AI market will rise and reach trillions by the end of the decade. Even with the remarkable performance of AI companies in recent years, all of this indicates that AI is poised to drive revenue growth across industries in the years to come, making it the best growth subject for long-term investors. Artificial intelligence, AI betting, is available in a variety of methods. The producers of AI technology and the large-scale AI beneficiaries, however, are two particularly interesting avenues. Put otherwise, you can purchase the business that sells the picks and shovels, or the systems and chips that enable artificial intelligence. Another option is to invest in a business that incorporates AI into already existing infrastructure, services, and goods that are utilized by billions of people. Join our investor community. Hit subscribe and like to get your daily Nvidia stock insights and tutorials delivered. Nvidia and Alphabet fit these buckets nicely, with Nvidia of course being the technology supplier and Alphabet being the scaled technology platform. Naturally, both stocks have benefited greatly from the spike in demand for AI. However, with both firms' expectations now at an all-time high, the most important question is, which company, at today's pricing, offers the best risk-reward setup? As the manufacturer of the top graphics processing units, GPUs, used in AI data centers, Nvidia's most recent quarter demonstrates why the business has emerged as the face of the AI boom. Nvidia reported $57.0 billion in revenue for the third quarter of fiscal 2026, which ended on October 26th. This represents a 62% increase in revenue year over year. Revenue from data centers, the area of the company most closely associated with AI servers, increased by 66% to $51.2 billion. Additionally, Nvidia's gross margin for the period was an astounding 73.4% on a generally accepted accounting principles (GAAP) basis, demonstrating the company's pricing prowess. For the period, earnings per share increased 20% sequentially and 67% year over year to $1.30. Those are remarkable figures. Additionally, management pointed out that its cloud GPUs were sold out at the conclusion of the time, so they may have been better. Clear AI-driven momentum was also evident in Alphabet's most recent reported quarter. However, this momentum is matched by widespread momentum across a number of profitable Alphabet businesses, such as YouTube, Gmail, online search, and advertising technology. Alphabet's third quarter sales jumped 16% year over year to $102.3 billion, while its earnings per share increased 35% to $2.87, thanks to double-digit growth in search, YouTube, Google Cloud, and its subscriptions, platforms, and devices sector. More significantly for the AI discussion, Alphabet's cloud computing division, Google Cloud, is growing in importance as a catalyst for the firm as a whole. During the quarter, Alphabet's cloud revenue climbed 34% year over year to $15.2 billion. Additionally, the segment's operating margin increased to 23.7%, while cloud operating income increased by 85% to $3.6 billion. Furthermore, the backlog of Google Cloud is really expanding at a much higher rate than its income. In Q3, Google Cloud's backlog reached $155 billion, up 82% year over year and 46% sequentially. This rapid growth in its cloud backlog is encouraging for the segment's growth trajectory in 2026 and beyond. Next is Alphabet's recent contract with Apple. According to a joint statement from Alphabet and Apple, the upcoming generation of Apple Foundation models will be based on Google's Gemini models and cloud technology, enabling future Apple Intelligence features, including a more personalized Siri, that will debut on Apple devices this year. For Alphabet, this is a significant distribution victory. With well over 2.2 billion devices in use, Apple products rank among the largest consumer technology platforms globally. It gives Alphabet another chance to be at the forefront of how people engage with AI, even when they aren't using an Android phone or opening a Google app, if Gemini is a key component of how Siri and other Apple Intelligence features operate. Furthermore, when businesses, developers, and consumers are still attempting to determine whether companies' AI models are worth embracing, Apple's vote of confidence comes at a crucial moment. AI is substantially more than just a moonshot project for Alphabet. It makes a significant financial contribution to the corporation as a whole. Indeed, internet searches are still its mainstay. However, cloud computing is currently helping the business as well. The better buy for 2026. In the end, both businesses are doing well and have a lot of promise. How much perfection is already built into each stock and its pricing determine the difference. Nvidia has a price-to-earnings ratio of 46, whereas Alphabet is now trading at roughly 30 times earnings. Although Nvidia's business is expanding more quickly than Alphabet's, is it as sustainable? The semiconductor industry has always been cyclical. Furthermore, it's evident that Nvidia is currently profiting from a surge in demand for AI processing capacity because practically all of the world's big tech companies are simultaneously increasing their investments in cloud infrastructure. This is thrilling, but it also warrants caution. When this spending slows down or stops, what happens? To put it briefly, I believe that Alphabet's business strategy is less cyclical and more diverse than Nvidia's. For these reasons, I don't think Nvidia should trade at a greater price-to-earnings ratio than Alphabet, despite the fact that it is a faster-growing company. Having said that, even though I believe Alphabet is a better investment than Nvidia, this does not imply that Alphabet stock is a great deal. In fact, at its current price, I believe Alphabet stock is a little hazardous. Alphabet is at peril, much like Nvidia. Its cloud business, for instance, could slow if the current AI boom proves to be unsustainable. Additionally, regulatory attention is often drawn to Alphabet's dominant position in internet search. Lastly, advertising plays a major role in Alphabet's operations, and advertising is directly linked to the macroeconomic climate. Advertising may suffer if the economy slows down or, worse, enters a recession, which might put pressure on the stock. Nevertheless, for investors with a high risk tolerance who are prepared to stick onto Alphabet stock for the long term, the company's double-digit revenue growth, increasing cloud profitability, and a Gemini distribution boost through Apple make it appear like a wise choice overall. Over the past year, Nvidia has attracted well-known figures to its technical and senior leadership ranks as the chipmaker achieves unprecedented levels of riches and prominence. Alison Wagenfeld, a Google Cloud veteran and Nvidia's first chief marketing officer, is the company's most recent significant hire. In order to boost expansion, the company has also used its balance sheet to acquire senior software executives through startup purchases within the past year. Additionally, it has looked for talent from beyond the tech sector, such as academics and government employees. When combined, they highlight Nvidia's role as an AI chip designer growing its software offerings. It has strengthened its cybersecurity and marketing capabilities to reach governments and large enterprise clients, and it has software and research executives to develop the applications that run on its renowned GPUs. Alison Wagenfeld, a Google Cloud veteran and Nvidia's first chief marketing officer, is the company's most recent significant hire. In order to boost expansion, the company has also used its balance sheet to acquire senior software executives through startup purchases within the past year. Additionally, it has looked for talent from beyond the tech sector, such as academics and government employees. When combined, they highlight Nvidia's role as an AI chip designer growing its software offerings. It has strengthened its cybersecurity and marketing capabilities to reach governments and large enterprise clients, and it has software and research executives to develop the applications that run on its renowned GPUs. Sci5, a company that develops schematics for intricate chip components, announced on Thursday that it will be the first manufacturer of RISC-V chip designs to incorporate NVIDIA technology, which establishes quick connections between processors. Similar to SoftBank's ARM Holdings, a major player in the industry, Sci5 gives clients blueprints so they can create their own complete chip designs. As additional information about ARM's aspirations to become a chip designer in its own right has surfaced, businesses like Alphabet's Google and Meta have shown renewed interest in RISC-V, an open standard alternative to ARM's plans. Fast connections between CPUs and NVIDIA's AI chips are made possible via NVLink. In AI data centers, where thousands of processors must be connected to process massive volumes of data smoothly, those connections are crucial. According to Patrick Little, CEO of Sci5, Sci5 chip designs that use the technology are unlikely to be commercialized until 2027 or later. However, when they do, consumers will be able to link a RISC-V CPU to NVIDIA's top AI chips at rates comparable to those of CPUs using ARM or Intel technology. He told Reuters in an interview that both firms have made a multi-generational commitment to start working on this and provide the greatest NVLink solution, generation after generation. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
Okay, back into tech. Speaking of tech, Taiwan Semi out with its quarterly results. Take us through some of your takeaways here.
Yeah, as you kind of talked about at the open here, we actually did see the company beat both on the top and bottom line. Revenue came in at around $33.6 billion on the US dollar equivalent here, exceeding the street's expectations, and the adjusted earnings per share came in at $3.14. Street was looking for $2.82. Obviously, this is on strong demand when it comes to artificial intelligence, not only when you're looking at GPUs that are being produced for companies like Nvidia or an AMD, but also in the 5G space. And that actually could provide a little bit of a tailwind when it comes to companies like a Samsung or even an Apple for that matter. Now, the company also did raise its CapEx guidance because they are seeing capacity and they're continuing to see demand rise. They have to increase capacity, and they are doing so. And they are very confident that the AI trade, as we see it right now, is only going to expand from here. So they have a lot of money being put to work in order to expand fabrication facilities, especially here in the United States. And once again, the smartphones themselves made up around 32% of the overall revenue within Q4 sales. So I think this is actually a really decent report. Gives us a little bit of optimism here for a sector that has been kind of gyrating. Not so much when you're looking at the memory names, which have been outperforming, but some of the headline GPU makers that are out there, the AMDs of the world, Nvidia's, this gives them a little bit more optimism, potentially, that demand continues to ramp up. And a lot of the spending from these hyperscalers are going to continue in 2026.
Okay.